Ever noticed how many ways there are to say maybe in English? It's kind of weird when you think about it. We can't just say yes or no. We have a million words for every shade of uncertainty. But it makes our conversations way more interesting. Imagine if everything was just black and white. Yes or no. Boring. These words add layers and nuances. Today we're breaking down 10 words like and words you've heard 1,000 times but may not fully understand. Let's make sense of them in under 5 minutes. First up we have probably. It means you're like 80% sure something's gonna happen. Not a guarantee, but pretty darn close. Imagine telling your friend you'll meet them for coffee later. You could say, yeah, I'll probably be there around 2. Not a definite yes, but also not a no. You're leaving a little room for life to happen. Probably acknowledges that the future is unpredictable. Next, we have possibly. This one's a little more wishy-washy. It's like saying, yeah, there's a chance, but don't quote me on it. For example, let's say you're invited to a party, but you're not sure if you're feeling it. You could say, I'll possibly swing by later. You're not saying no outright, but you're also not making any promises. Possibly is perfect for keeping your options open. Okay, maybe. This one's like the ultimate wild card of uncertainty. It's the verbal equivalent of a shrug emoji. Seriously, you can use maybe in pretty much any situation where you're not sure what the answer is. Someone asks if you like pineapple on pizza. Maybe. Someone asks if you finished that essay that's due tomorrow. Maybe. But also probably not. The beauty of maybe is its simplicity and its ability to avoid awkward conversations. Now let's talk about likely. This one's a bit more formal than probably, but it means the same thing. There's a good chance something's going to happen. For example, you could say, it's likely to rain today, so don't forget your umbrella. You're just giving your best guess based on, like, the weather app. Likely is a good word to use when you want to sound a little more sure of yourself, without actually committing to anything. Now we're getting into the negative side of uncertainty with unlikely. This one means that, yeah, something happened, but it's probably not going to happen. Like, imagine you're trying to win $1 million from a scratch-off ticket. It's not impossible, but it's pretty unlikely. Unlikely is a good way to let someone down gently without completely crushing their dreams. It's like saying, hey, I don't want to get your hopes up, but... Next up is hopefully, which is all about expressing your hopes and dreams for the future. For example, you might say, hopefully I'll get the job, or hopefully my online order arrives before the weekend. You're putting your positive energy out there, even if you're not entirely sure if it'll work. Hopefully is a great word to use when you're feeling optimistic and want to share that good vibe with others. Alright, let's talk about perhaps. This one's like the fancy older sibling of maybe. It's a little more formal, a little more sophisticated, and a lot more British sounding. Seriously, if you want to sound like you're sipping tea with the Queen, just start throwing perhaps into your sentences. Perhaps is perfect for those situations where you want to sound polite and a little bit mysterious. Okay, buckle up because we're getting into some seriously advanced vocabulary with conceivably. This word is basically the love child of possibly and imaginable. It means that something is theoretically possible, even if it's not very likely. For example, you could say, conceivably I could win an Olympic gold medal in synchronized swimming. Is it likely? Absolutely not. Is it conceivable? Sure, if you squint your eyes and imagine really, really hard. Conceivably is a great word to use when you want to sound intelligent and open-minded. Next we have supposedly, which is all about hearsay and rumors. It's like saying, I heard this from someone, but I don't know if it's actually true or not. For example, you might say, supposedly, there's a secret menu at this restaurant with the most amazing food ever. Supposedly is a good word to use when you want to gossip without actually taking responsibility for spreading false information. And finally, we have arguably, which is the most debate-loving word on this list. It means that something could be argued or debated, and there's no one right answer. For example, you could say, this is arguably the best pizza place in town, or Beyoncé is arguably the most talented performer of our generation. Arguably is a great word to use when you want to start a lively discussion, or just sound like you know what you're talking about. And there you have it, 10 common words that express in English. These words help make our speech more nuanced and realistic. So, next time you're not 100% sure, Use one of these words to keep it interesting. Mastering uncertainty, one word at a time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more English tips.